Here we are. Hey everyone, this is Kobold DM. I don't know why I started with a radio announcement, but anyway, this is Kobold Kingmaker episode 23, Cradle of the Mesh 2. So, it does seem that we are missing both Yarm and Gas today. We'll see if one shows up. The others definitely wasn't. Gaz is definitely not able to be here, but yeah, either way. We'll run as 3 for the time being. I think that is easy enough to do. So, shall we begin with actually an announcement, really? I just released a new part of my Patreon pack for maps. As you guys may already know, all these maps that you see us running the game on are made by me, completely. About 140 of them so far. So you can find half of them for free on my Patreon. The others are part of my Patreon tiers. So if you want to go and grab them, you can find my Patreon, patreon.com/kobolddm. And otherwise, I also released flat versions of all of the maps. So that means, like, they don't have to be run on Foundry. You can just download the maps to be run anywhere. But without further ado, let's get on with the game itself. Starting with recap. Who wants to do it this week for your extra hero point?
Shall I?
Mm-hmm.
Well then, I shall. Alright. So, our team is now in an has been in an investigation of strange occurrences of monsters growing in or appearing to grow in and pop out of humans and animals, killing them. Strange creatures that seem like a weird mix of like Fey and Abyssal or something, and flowers growing in the corpses. We determined that there's some kind of a cult involved, which we decided to look into. As it turned out, the victims weren't transforming into monsters or really growing them. It's like their bodies were kind of forming portals that were conjuring these monsters from elsewhere. We figured out that this cult we were looking for probably had its base somewhere in the wilderness. We might be on the lookout for goblins. And therefore, we searched. While searching, we poked around some areas. Gaz had the idea to visit Old Beldame. And we did. She did some divinations, confirmed that we're dealing with some kind of powerful curse that propagates physically. Our theory was that it was happening with the water somehow, especially as we recalled seeing these strange plants and spores in the hunting ground area, kind of seeming to infest the water somehow. We decided to leave our little owlbear cub at home, Norbert, and headed eastward to look for the location of the cult camp. What we found was an entire goblin village of sorts. For the most part, they seemed relatively peaceful but insular. There were some weird things happening around this goblin camp. They were kind of having ghost sightings near the graves at night, seemingly related to a building that had burned overnight a couple weeks back that had killed several goblins inside. Some further investigation revealed that the actual shaman of the village had died in the fire, and that the one that was leading this tribe was just an imposter. We ended up slaying him and worked out an alliance with the goblins. Over time, we'll probably try to work on integrating them into our kingdom. Further east, there was a cave. Yarmos had overheard the name Daravan from the people that were inside this cave. Daravan will be speaking at some sort of an event, some meeting, on Toil Day, which is Tuesday at midnight. That's about a day and a half. Now we need to decide what we're going to do about that.
That's true. And with that in mind, you look around just a bit on the outskirts of this cave. You're really sure that the only way into this sort of overgrown cave, as you're getting the smell of rotting leaves and vegetables, much like you found at that waterfall recently, and this sort of little bit of a stream, sort of like this mountain spring that sort of comes out from the cave. All of it smelling that sickly, sweet almost smell that you've been accustomed to. With this the only way in, what do you guys decide to do here?
Should we go in swords drawn, or does anyone have a better idea?
Well, I do have a few concerns. If there's a congregation, that means there's a lot of people, right? If it's a sermon, that might be a few too many people for us.
Even if it's not too many people, here's another way of looking at the situation. If we announce our presence now, surely they'll be on higher guard when they're planning to meet. I believe we stand to learn much more if we approach this more delicately.
Well, Kiba, you like delicacy. What is your thought? Are you gonna try to sneak in there with the visitors and pretend to be one of them?
No, I think my face is a little bit too distinctive. It's the white feathers, you know. Or perhaps... No, it must be the white feathers. Either way, I don't think we're going to be diplomatizing this one. We should observe silently. Perhaps from a distance, track their movements. Eavesdrop if we can.
Alright, so, with you guys deciding to watch and wait, how long are you watching and waiting? Just a few more hours, or until this meeting the next day?
I'm personally good with focusing all of our energy and time into watching these folks and just trying to stay hidden yet gather info until the meeting. If any of you have any other ideas, by all means share.
It sounds wise.
All
What
right.
if this is the only opportunity we have to stop them, though?
Well, we can just... That's a good point.
Well, they were going to be meeting upriver, weren't they?
The way they talked about it, they were going to be meeting inside of the cavern that you're at.
This cavern. Okay,
Yes. They speak as if this is their headquarters, and they're just... It's a weekly occurrence, a sermon. It's not some, like, grand plan, sort of, like, final thing. As they were sort of, like, annoyed that they have to... One of them was sort of complaining every so often about, like, having to go to it every week and all that, you know.
That just strengthens my resolve to not cause any trouble before the sermon happens. I'd like to hear it.
And how do you plan on doing that?
Why, it's simple. And I'm so very glad you asked. All we have to do is stay out of sight when it happens.
Anybody trained in religion can roll me a check here.
Alright, definitely me.
So trying to figure out more about Lamashtuan sermons or gatherings religiously or not. And... Well, yeah, Kiba, you're on track with this,
Sweet.
actually. So, you are guessing from your knowledge of this particular sort of goddess, this evil goddess, all are required to attend these sermons. Every cultist they have will be there. That means that nobody's going to be watching the front.
Somebody or nobody?
Nobody at all.
Well, if they're all going to be gathered up, maybe a nice fireball would be a nice offering. If we have to go that route anyways.
That seems reasonable. And if we can hear the sermon, perhaps we can learn a little bit more about what's going on before we burn them alive.
I'm surprised you're so on board with the burning them alive part.
It's not the burning alive part that I'm interested in here. It's the opportunity to do a bit of good in the world, to cut down some cultists. It's that simple.
Alright, so as you guys are spending the rest of the day and then most or pretty much all of the day tomorrow because it's a midnight sermon, who will be the closest to the cave entrance, trying to sleuth, trying to eavesdrop as much as you can? And who's staying back?
I should stay back. I'm not very good at stealth. Not in this armor.
One moment, please.
Terrence looks very concerned.
You do have the party sheet, where you can look and see if anybody's at least a little bit good at any of these. I think actually...
Someone has a plus 12.
It's not
Oh,
us.
Yeah. Gaz and
Yarmos or
Yarmos.
Yarmos or Gaz are going to be the scout.
So I have invisibility. Parents can switch to invisibility at least.
That'll help. That'll...
Oh yeah, you have a plus 3 as well. That's fantastic. You're our best shot.
I am not brimming with confidence at this decision.
We believe in you.
I suppose it's going to be Parent sneaking up and keeping an eye on the entrance then.
Sure. Go ahead and
Well, if anybody can do this, then good luck.
cast your invisibility and yeah, roll your stealth. Invisibility helps a lot with this, though.
This is blind, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So, as you keep tabs on them throughout the day, knowing that you'll be resting anyway, you'll cast a few invisibility spells just to go back and forth to check up on them. You recognize that they're mostly quiet, sort of whispering a little prayer to the mash to every so often. You are not confident enough in your skills to get too close as to eavesdrop anymore. And I'm going to say as well, to keep us a little bit moving here, you do pretty much the same work the next day on what the hell is the day before Toil Day? Moon Day, rather. And now on Moon Day, you're sort of keeping tabs, making sure, and the surprising thing is, they don't seem to leave very much at all. You don't see anybody going out foraging or anything like that. In fact, you don't see anybody leaving at all. Either they're self-sufficient inside or something else is going on.
Handy.
But for the
That's
purpose
odd.
for the purpose of it, it does get later in the day. Actually, almost we'll say 30 minutes before midnight, before it goes to Toil Day. And you do start to hear people sort of clamoring, people sort of shouting, "Oi! Dervan's almost ready for the sermon. Leave your posts. We must hear the word of Lamastu." And like you expected, Kiba, you guys see the front entrance laid bare before you without any guards, all of them following this required summon to the sermon.
It's kind of strange that none of them are leaving. Maybe they're stocked well in there. Maybe it's a one-way trip.
Sure will be tonight.
I'm gonna move you guys over to a new scene.
Although we should probably be fair about it at the very least. It's one thing to kill fairly, it's another to murder.
I mean, like all these people have been doing with their whatever it is they're doing to us.
Right. Let's just leave it at the fact that we need to gather information before we can make any hasty decisions.
And as you guys arrive in this environment, it is quite a strange one to step into. all the cavern walls and even the roof sort of seems to drip with this extra moisture and humidity to it. Under your feet, it's mostly muddy carpets of moss or mushrooms here and there, or just pools of water and mud that sort of stream along the center here, making that little stream you saw as you approached this place. And there's a mishmash of all sorts of different plants wildly growing in this environment where you would imagine they shouldn't, as, well, they don't have sunlight in here, but here they are. And otherwise, I do want you guys to establish your exploration activities, and if you are searching, roll me a perception check.
Yes, I'm just making some modifications to what Parent has on hand really quick.
Yeah, you have the thing where you can just change it up, right?
I was talking about like items and gear really quick.
Yeah, I'm
okay,
just
good.
keeping an eye out for anything useful I
keep
might
mine.
notice.
I'll keep mine as the scout, so that we're a little bit better prepared for initiative.
Alright. So, as you guys are stepping into this environment, Giraffe, you do find it suspicious that they would leave this, well, the front entrance just so easily undefended. You look ahead of you at this little gap here, and you notice etched into the mud and pushing away some of the moss is a nearly imperceptible magical seal on the floor.
Well, that's fun. They've placed a welcome mat. And by that I mean a trap, don't walk on it.
Do you think we can get around it, or do I need to take care of it?
Roll me a Arcana check, Parith, having a look at it there.
Okay.
You guys have been rolling really well here, actually. Well, a wizard should roll well in their Arcana, 34 in total there. So, looking at this and trying to figure out exactly what might it be, you recognize it actually is a quite simple alarm ritual spell. Or actually, it's not a ritual, it's just a spell. But, yeah, it's an alarm spell. And remember a few things about alarm spells. First, they can be etched so that they basically cover an entire area. There won't be an easy way to just, like, sort of scamper around it. Your best bet may be, however, a passcode. Though you weren't able to get close enough to the entrance whenever anyone sort of got a little near to it or they changed shifts to hear that.
Well, as luck would have it, Parent has the ultimate passcode.
Ah.
Lovely.
So, roll me that counteract. And for the purpose of it, against the DC of the caster, which may have been one of any of these cultists here, you... And this is like a first level spell, if I recall correctly. Yeah, so this is easily dispelled as you sort of weave your magics to sort of unspindle the magics that are placed upon this floor in a way that would not trigger anyone's sort of like the actual effects of the spell, the alarm in their brain. So, you're pretty confident the way is clear.
Are these beds?
They are, yes. As you look around yourself, the tunnel widens here, forming a large
12.
cavern with 15-foot wide exits to the north and south. To either side of the cavern sits about 6 low wooden pallets that allow bedrolls to lie a few inches above the glistening wet, fungus-encrusted ground below.
Can I make a survival check to estimate, based on like the beds and maybe like prints on the ground, how many people go through here a day on average? So like maybe estimate how many people might be further down.
So, counting the beds themselves, seems like there are 12 in total.
Oh, so no
Though-
check. I thought
Yeah,
like,
no.
hey, maybe they rotate and there's 24 of them, but like,
Mm,
never know.
actually do roll me a survival check to confirm. So, actually, you recognize that about 4 of these beds seem like they haven't been used in a while, as if those who were once using them left, died, or who knows what. At least they're not here in these caverns.
Interesting.
Is there anything else of note in here? Can I do like a perception check?
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. Anytime you guys enter like a newish area, you can always do your search checks.
Just in case there's something else.
Nothing in this chamber. However, you begin to start to hear a voice sort of echoing down the halls. It's sort of echoey enough that you're not able to tell the specifics of it, but you surmise that it's part of that sermon.
We should be a little quieter and probably catch up if we want to hear what they're talking about.
Definitely.
Good point.
I'll let you take the lead though, Giraffe, just in case there's a trap we don't see.
Which way should we go? Do I
Well,
see a book?
As you guys are rounding the corner here, if you are trying to be very stealthy, you should change your exploration activities to avoid notice, or at least, well, be careful rounding corners.
Yeah.
For the
Okay,
pur-
yeah.
For the purpose of it, you can always still roll your stealth checks, of course, if you'd like avoiding notice, even if you're not good at them, because you're so far away, you're around a corner. It's just still a, determination.
Just an intelligent move.
I have a massive +0 to my stealth.
Yeah.
That's what happens when the sneaky people aren't here.
Or the kobolds when you need them.
Okay. So, as you guys do peek around this corner, you get a glimpse of what seems to be stone risers that are along a wall that seems to have these carvings in it of, well, creatures and other things that you can't really tell from this distance. But you do begin to overhear and rather see some of what's going on in there. As you see about 8, counting pretty correctly, those cultists sitting on those stone risers. In front of them, on a little plinth, is a book, and beyond that book is what seems to be a half-orc. Paler sort of complexion, longer hair, raven black, and seemingly having the robes and stylization of some sort of spellcaster. And you hear a little bit of the sermon. As we are gathered here, you will all know that we've lost a few of our kin to the experiments and, well, plants that we are growing here in the glory of Lamashtu's service. But you all know that those plants are not the important part of our work. In fact, it is what blooms from the plants. What great beasts will soon come to inhabit these lands. Not only of the Master's realm, but of the Fae as well. All bloodthirsty, all ready to gouge out, well, anything they can eat. From the poor sods around them, from those settlers who think they can take a wild land from the Master, one so filled with beasts, and tame it, to deny us and deny our goddess more land, more space to live, and to bring the civilization that's cast each and every one of you and me myself out from it in the first place. For our civilizations of this earth do not care for those cripples and, well, magically changed and otherwise rejects. But none of us are rejected from Lamashtu's gaze. And, sir, I think I hear something. May I go check on the alarm? Fine. We'll talk about why you must hear the word of Lamashtu later. Sorry, sir, but maybe it was, Jeffrey, the one we lost the other day. He might be back or something. Go, then.
As he rounds the corner, can I grab him and like put my hand over his mouth so he doesn't make any sound?
Sure. Roll me an athletics check for that. Hello, friend, are you here? I lost you.
Oh no.
Oh,
Should I spend my
yes.
1 hero point on that, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Freaking nat one. What
Well, turning it into
That's much better.
a
Okay.
much better roll. And no, as you're very quickly sort of dashing out from cover there, placing a hand over their mouth and dragging them away from the corner there. Oh, hey. And as they're struggling there, they'll
Sleepy time.
sort of slow down their struggle. Are you going to try to sort of like just put them to sleep?
Sure, let's go with that. There's no reason to kill them
Okay.
yet.
So with 35, yeah, you easily do it with this cultist here. They don't look exactly that threatening, these cultists. This one seemingly has this sort of burn scar across, like acid burns across the left side of his face, leaving it almost like drooping in that way. Makes him pretty hideous to common society.
Huh. How typical, actually,
But yeah,
from what we learned
he is put to sleep.
/ recalled.
That was a little close.
So what are you guys doing now? Some
Isn't that a question?
This is awkward.
Do we jump them? What do we do?
I was about to say that doesn't feel right, but like considering what they've been doing, it actually does feel kind of right.
Should we try to look back further into the cave as they're distracted?
You know what? That might be a good idea.
I'm good with that, yes.
Maybe we can sabotage their efforts rather than slaughtering them like animals. Because for as awful as they've been, I can understand their grievances.
Maybe they're just misguided, but that guy giving this speech, he doesn't seem very misguided to me.
No, I think he's using these people.
So we have to try
If
to get
a fight breaks out, let's try to take out that preacher.
So, as you guys look north, seems like there's a pretty clear sight line for them to see you passing by.
Is this like a flat plane here?
Yeah,
Or does it like slope? No, okay.
it's all flat.
I was thinking just like crawling across. But
Is there any more notable to the sermon that's being said, or was that kind of the gist of it for now?
If you guys want to sort of listen in for a few more, you do hear, and you all know the crux of our plan that lies within those walls beyond. Well, you wouldn't be saying specifics about it.
Wait, let's listen to the monologue.
Womb of Lamashtu, where from her great cradle, or rather, her... I didn't get enough sleep last night, excuse me. It would have been her bloom. For all this curse that we lay upon this land is housed within that bloom. You must protect it at all costs, including your very lives. For if it falls, our work here will be for naught. The curse will wane. While I live, that will never happen. And while all you live, I expect you to lay down your lives for just the same. For the purpose of it, the rest of it is just sort of general religious stuff about Lamashtu.
Nice.
Do we take this guy and try to get more information out of him and get out of here, or do we press on?
I already tucked him in the bed, so But more seriously, I
Giraffe.
think we've heard what we need. I think we need to get past them and destroy whatever this room is.
Well, they're gonna see you the second you go around that corner.
I don't think they're as fast as I am.
What does that mean?
I'm faster than them, but it's fine.
The alternative is we confront them.
He's gonna walk over there and tell them they're wrong? We're gonna use some fire? I could start with fire.
We can't just start with fire. You have to warm them up first.
I mean, I have other fire spells. Does that work? We need to make a decision either way. This sermon isn't gonna last all night.
How about we make an appearance? They see us. They shout for the attack. And then you can do your thing.
How many people does it sound like were in that room?
I counted. There's 7 in there now.
6 cultists, 1 Daravan.
A Daravan will be a problem. The cultists, maybe not so much.
I mean, do you have any spells that can prevent him from doing anything? Like quietness, or like preventing him from seeing, or something like that?
If you don't know what my spell repertoire is yet, Giraffe, I don't know where you've been for the last few months.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know how your magic works. Just know that you do it and that it works.
Do you think we're going to be dealing with enemies immediately? Do you think this is going to break down?
They're going to attack us. Just a question of how many are willing to do so, and how
I'd
many
say
will
we
surrender.
I think we have a few minutes at best before they get suspicious and check on their friend here.
I'm ready to lead the charge.
Okay. So before we go in, Parenth is going to cast a couple spells, if that's okay.
Perfect.
Sure.
He's going to be casting a spell called Mountain Resilience, and he'll be draining a bonded item to cast it twice. Once on Giraffe and once on Kiba.
Okay. Skin to stone. Makes you feel heavier, but also way more resistant. Each of you.
Thank you.
Doesn't last forever. Get going. I'll hold the
Nice.
rear.
And with that, I go out in the open.
Okay.
And I follow.
Simply waltzing out there. You guys step
I'm obviously
in.
no longer in stealth though, so I should fix my activity.
Of course. And as you guys are stepping in here, a couple of cultists sort of like scramble up off their sort of seats there. Sir, the intruders! As Daravan turns around, sort of whipping across his hair, you see his full sort of visage now, as he was turned away from you mostly. He seems less a outcast than the rest of them. He seems actually quite well kept, so you wonder where else his, well, guided life towards the Mashtu is concerned. But as he turns, so it wasn't one of our waylaid cultists, but intruders, and are we being graced by the nobility of these lands, the so-called puppets of the Aldori, of Brevor?
My, you sure know quite a bit.
I know enough to make my plans come to fruition.
Someone knows how to read. That's impressive.
Well, it's not terribly surprising. I mean, look at you. You look like a learned fellow. Rather handsome features for a Lamashu follower, aren't you?
I'm surprised you didn't just go to us and ask for help. Like, hey, look, we've got a problem with you. We've got a problem with the blessings you proclaim you're bringing.
The blessings we grant are simply the blessings of nature, of what these lands have always been. A land for beasts, a land for outcasts, hermits. And you have come here at the behest of some foreign rulers to tame these lands, to take them away from people like us. You will not speak of noble concerns and intentions to me.
There's nothing that says we couldn't have coexisted if you'd made even an attempt.
Oh, but you have slain every last beast you've come across in these lands. You have drawn the gaze of Lamashtu onto yourselves for taking lands that would be hers on Galarian. So few precious of them exist for her beasts and her hermits and outcasts. There would never be an accord made. There would be never land shared. Only land taken.
We have been parlaying with people on this land already quite a bit, actually.
I think we parlayed with a dinosaur even. That wasn't really a parlay. I shouldn't bring up that bad times.
And what of the monstrous kingdom? Trolls, other beasts, that tried to lay down a claim on these lands, deep within the forests, even yet.
Those people tried to subjugate others, like the kobolds to the south. They were going to wipe them out unless they complied.
Not to mention the invasion plans.
Yes, they planned out invasion before diplomacy. And so we treated sword with sword.
Self-defense, you see.
And yet our acts, and their acts, are also of self-defense. They are also of those who have laid claim long before you ever had. The beasts of this land, those who have lived here for countless generations before you came along. What right do you have? None.
If that's the game you want to play, let's not stop with this talk. Let's go with the rule of beasts. If you proclaim you follow Lamashtu, have at ye.
Those of you who wish, you still have time to lay down your arms. We are merciful.
Roll diplomacy check, Kiva. Anybody else can aid if they would like.
I really like that line I delivered out. You think you're a follower
Yeah.
of Lamashtu? Then let's settle this with the rules of beasts.
I like that too. I like it a lot.
Going to counter with his religion check. But, well. Do not listen to them. Their society will never accept you. You've all been outcasts of one place or another, a few even from Brevoy. They are... You won't. As he realizes two of them sort of standing up and rushing past each of you. Hands up, sort of, their weapons sort of drop to their sides, these little kukris they had. I don't want to die for this. He's already led too much of us to death.
Yeah, let them through.
Take your friend with you.
They'll notice their friend tucked into bed.
Yeah, they'll drag him away. The rest of you, who still wish to have Lamashtu's blessing, who know that they would never accept you, their pretty words and deeds, join me in the defense of our holy guidance, our holy acts, our crusade. I need you guys' initiatives.
Gladly.
Okay, this is epic. I have my Montbellet and my Bloodthirst out.
Alright, need to...
I am going to use a hero point on that initiative, actually.
Okay.
That's much better.
So I actually have too many...
My die roll was a 7. That's about as high as I can reasonably expect it to get, so I'm pretty pumped. It was great.
We'll see where things go here. So, for the purposes of it, Parenth, you've been preparing yourself for the breakout of this fight, for this whole conversation. Your arcane symbols are ready, your knowledge is well used. What do you do?
Well, I think we need to clear out some of these little guys, don't we?
Fireball.
Oh my goodness.
Alright.
You were offered mercy.
And with that,
They chose not to take it. It's not something I would have done, but I'm alright with it.
every single one of them fails, one even critically fails, as you blast this burst out into their sermon hall, blowing aside the pages of that book. I do need a will save, though, Parith. As you burn this holy place of Lamashtu herself, one of the few that even exists on the face of Galarian.
Uh-oh.
We'll talk about this after this fight. So,
Beautiful.
Oh no.
as the book burns, the plants around it burns as well, and, of course, those who were caught in it burn. Each of them takes this 17. Even Daravan himself, and one takes double damage, 34 in the back there, putting them pretty badly injured from that single blast. You have one more action there.
And it's gonna shield.
Okay, shield goes up. So, we go to one of the cultists. Lamashtu, I am your faithful servant. Heal the clergy, heal our people. He's going to cast a 3-action heal. This shouldn't be blinded. I don't know why it is. There we go. So, 3-action heal. He's going to burst this out to his allies. So, why? What the hell is that? Why is it
Minus
2d8 plus
4?
4? Minus what? Wait. Oh, that is because I made them weak with the weak trait. I don't know why it does that for energy from a spell. That shouldn't do that. So it is actually going to be 6 in total. So let me do this. Easiest way to do it, just click this 3 times. Alright, there we go. Everyone gets 6 healing as he bursts a little bit of that faithful prayer out to his allies. Now, we do go to Daravan. How dare you burn this place holy to the goddess? I will lower the temperature. He's going to step up to here, striding up, and as he does so, coalescing in his hands is a cone of frosty ice. Why are these being hidden? I don't know. Anyway, cone of cold against you guys. I need everyone's reflex saves.
Ha!
Wow.
Good job, Kiva.
Good on Kiva, however, Parent and Giraffe, you both failed this roll. So, each of you takes a total of 36 points of damage. Kiva is able to sort of, using the glaive in front of him, sort of spin it around and deflect many of these icy shards away from him.
Are you able to shield block this?
Yes, it
With
is
that
damage.
shield? Okay.
Mhm.
Narratively, I kind of feel like maybe I'm using some of the fire that's enchanted in this thing to melt some of that.
Absolutely, actually.
Yeah.
I've
So-
always imagined it as similar to Blizzard from Pokemon, in which it's just a blast of freezing air that sucks away all the heat.
Holding up well. No matter. Giraffe, your turn.
Anyways, he's made things easier. I am going to stride behind him, and I'm going to double slice. Once with my Momblade, and then following up the Bloodthirst.
Okay. So, first strike. Easy hit against him. So you slash in. Lashing with Mumble, that'll be 15 points of damage. And this is a critical strike, actually.
He's bleeding now.
Roll the crit damage there. As you cleave in with the Bloodthirst, that is 36 points of damage. And yes, he is going to be bleeding 2d8 because he is the human trait. Yes, half-orcs get the human and orc traits, both. And a half-orc
Oh, I
trait.
didn't know that about the Bloodthirst. It bleeds more on
It
humans.
seems to enjoy the blood of humans specifically a lot more. So you get 2d8 temporary HP as well, not 1d8.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
so I'll roll another.
I noticed that the health estimate thing seems to be kind of broken. Just FYI.
What is broken about it?
When I mouse over them, it's like healthestimate.core.estimates.
That's a loading in bug. You have to reload. But
Oh yeah, I've seen that once.
as you get that, sort of drawing the blood from him, he is actually going to. You see this reaction from him. I must do. Close these wounds. And, oops, I actually don't want to put that out to chat, specifics of it. But it seems as if the bloom around him seems to revitalize him. Heals a bit of damage here. Actually, quite a bit there. As the wound closes a bit, it seems to still, for these blooms of mushrooms and plants on his arms a little bit, seem to heal them quite well. So, with that, we go to Kiba.
Sure. I'll move into glaive range, and I don't think I particularly have anything special I want to do other than make a couple of strikes. So let's just give that a shot, see how it goes.
That's
Oh,
8.
the die teased me.
Will exactly hit while he is off guard. 14 damage to him. As he's lashed into, it seems like the cold iron of your blade cuts well into him. In fact, it also cuts into that regeneration he is holding to himself.
That's
Stopping.
interesting.
And you bring those blades with you, and you say you are not a slayer of everything, including the Fae of this land.
The Fae trying to disrupt and destroy when they could simply speak.
The Fae disrupt the natural order more than they appear to.
Reroll.
Your
Try that.
kind understands little about the wilds, leaving none to our people, our kin. Heal me now! Cast a 2-action heal from the back here on Daravan.
That is a manipulate.
This is one of his allies, Far.
Ally, never mind. My bad.
So,
Oh, I'm not a fighter. Never mind.
this guy will then sort of shift here. The other, also seeing the injuries he has taken, is also going to cast another heal. They're revitalizing their leader, keeping him alive. They are, well, doing as cultists were wont to do, as they heal him up. They're going to continue to do so, actually. One more healing burst towards him, even if this one is the most singed of all of them.
How long can they keep that up?
As many spell slots as you think they have. No matter, though, or either way, heals them up a lot. That'll be their turn. Going back to Parenth.
Well, I know what I have to do.
Grease.
I'm using Drain Bonded on him again.
Mm-hmm. Another fireball. Alright. Just bursts in the back of the room, avoiding the front fight here. Let me see about their reflex saves. Once again, they try to defend themselves as much as they can, 3 of them failing, 1 critically failing, so roll the damage. This time, a bigger burst of fire hits the room, burning this holy place even further. Each of them taking 20, 1 taking 40. All of them are very badly injured or near death at this point.
I don't really have any one-action things I can do at the moment. I'm gonna try to do a... Can I try to do a recall knowledge on the main guy?
You can do
I
a
doubt
society.
it. Okay.
It is usually difficult on unique people or creatures.
He
not
seems
like-
to have some unique traits, though. So
Mm. You are not able to tell much about them, unfortunately.
hold on.
So with that, this one singed harshly. Wait, the bloom. Heal yourselves. They're gonna reach for a wall here, using their own version of this heal. going to try to revitalize themselves just a bit before
So the fungus wasn't burnt?
striding in. Not all of it, like not completely out of the way, unfortunately. They're going to move up behind Giraffe and strike out with Kukri, which will miss just barely. As Giraffe, you see them coming, slinging one of your arms, your blades back, deflect it. Now, on Daravan's turn, yes, it does seem that that regeneration has been stopped for the moment. The rest of you, get in front. Defend me.
Hey, that's an opportunity attack.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodthirst and
Pathetic
I'm gonna go
coward.
Wombale.
Just gonna go to about here. Back up here, actually. You do miss,
That-
unfortunately.
That's gonna miss.
Actually, go.
Oh well, time to take advantage of axe crits here.
As he gets back here, once again, using the best abilities he has, another cone of cold. Frosty ice. Slim strikes out. There we go. Across the room here. I'll adjust this because he is going to be able to hit Giraffe here. There we go.
There we go.
Failure from Kiba, success from Giraffe. Parenth. You're also
One
being
second,
stuck.
it's being fuzzy.
Okay. And a success from you as well. So each of you takes half. Kiba takes the full damage, is a little bit exerted from the last time, having a harder time deflecting all of the ice and using that flame to melt it as it comes. That'll be his turn as he retreats back there. Giraffe, yours is up. Oh, and he takes that bleeding damage pretty badly.
Oh, sweet.
He resists, though, or at least recovers from the persistent damage of it.
Alrighty. The game's paused.
Should be.
Thank you. I'm going to step right here, and I'm gonna try to divide my attacks up. One against this guy, and then the second against him.
Okay.
Yeah. Hoping for a crit. Actually, no, I'm gonna double slice against the one in front of me.
Sure. Slicing out easy crit against them. Not the
Alrighty.
strongest. For a total of
And
36.
my axe effect's gonna go down and hit the guy down here.
Okay, so they take
Shouldn't have double sliced.
you deal damage to the creature equal to the result of the damage. Okay, weapon damage dice. So that was
Including extra dice for its potency room.
right. So that would be 2d6 there, I believe.
Do I roll another 2d6 or only the 2d6 that I rolled?
Let me see. 1 second. Equal to the weapon damage die you rolled. Okay, so I'm going to say this includes that deadly, but it doesn't include the sonic, so it's a total of 5 and 6. Actually, no, it would include all of these. 5, 6, 3, 12, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, 14 damage to it.
Cool.
Just cleave
That
through.
was-
Cleave so easily that you hit the other guy, but you did a double slice, so...
Yeah, I did. I shouldn't have. I need to learn more restraint with it.
Kiba, your turn.
All right. Well, I know what my primary role in this fight's gonna be. I have the cold iron. So, plus, Kiba's not really the type who likes going after the little guys. If he's there's any chance of getting them to surrender. Let's get all the way in.
Okay.
No, let's go there instead.
Mhm.
All right, from here I will make my 2 strikes. See if I can get him twice. See, it'll be awesome again. All right, strike 1.
As you cleave out, this will just barely hit him. He tries to deflect with his
Yeah.
kukri at the side, or his falchion rather, but he misses the deflection. You take 31 off of him.
And strike 2.
Giraffe, why did you take 17 damage there?
I didn't click the
Roll that
cold,
one.
cone of cold damage before,
Okay,
so I
okay.
scrolled up and clicked it.
Alright.
Like, hey, I still have temporary hit points. I
That
didn't
will
click
also hit Kiba. as you lash in for another clean strike into him. That cold iron dealing a lot of damage to his form. Strangely, because he doesn't look particularly fey enchanted. But either way, it hurts him.
Pathetic that you would throw them in front of you to save yourself.
Get up here! As he just shouts to the others, they will rush past, getting into a flank against Kiba. And, Yep, they're gonna just strike out with the Kukri. 12 on the dice will miss as you are able to swing the glaive back and deflect it. They're gonna go for one more. 16 and 23 again will certainly miss. So, with that, that'll be their turn. So you're definitely deflecting those attacks. This one in the back here is going to stay where they are and collect this chilling darkness in their hands and sling it towards Parenth in the back there. I'll get that thing. Which will hit. Parenth. Well, really good roll there too. You take 18 points of damage as this chilling cold hits you.
That's not good.
With that being said, that'll be that one. They have one more action. They're going to cast Shield then. There we are. Shield pops up on them. Parenth, we go to your turn then. You're feeling really hurt now.
Yes, indeed. Don't want to move yet, though. Parenth is going to cast a 3-action Scorching Ray
Okay.
to try to finish these guys off, because they're doing a lot.
A little more than I expected.
Let's just go from order from left to right for the attack rolls.
Yeah, don't target them for this. Just roll them. So, first ray slings out towards this one, certainly misses. Second one up here, unfortunately, misses as well.
I'm going to use a hero point on that second one.
Okay. Just try to draw back in some of that energy to give yourself another chance here. This one, 5 on the dice, will exactly hit this one, this cultist here.
Alright, last one.
There's this final Scorching Ray. Korean's out. That will be a definite hit against the shield.
Shattering through the shield.
And
Just
as
wasn't strong enough.
it burns into this one here, they do fall to the ground dead. As they were just about to try to cast something, this one here will use the block action on the shield. The reaction of it shatters through the shield, but doesn't kill him because of that.
Gotcha. Okay, that's all the Parenth does.
Alright. Now we're going to Daravan.
You're useless. I will have to find better servants after this.
Takes a step back here.
No matter. By these sorceress powers granted by Lamashtu's servant, you will all freeze.
Once again,
I'm really tired of him casting this spell. I don't know how you guys feel.
he's a sorcerer, it seems. He's able to call up this energy as many times, or at least as many times as he has spell slots for that. So, you all at least, well, Parenth succeeds. Giraffe and Kiba fail. Rolling damage here. Not the best damage they could have rolled. 30 total. Means, I believe Parenth survives. Frosted,
Oh,
chilly,
wow.
shaking, but otherwise still barely holding on there.
Why won't you die already?
Giraffe.
Alright, I'm tired of this. I'm going to stride up, and I'm going to grab him with my jaws.
Okay.
Athletics.
Yeah. A 19 against his Fortitude DC of 25 with all the modifiers making you 35 total. That is a critical success. You bite him in such a way that it pulls on his lapels and like that cloak over his shoulder to restrict his movement enough that he can't do much but try to get free of it. He is restrained on the critical success.
And then I'm going to make an agile attack with Bloodthirst.
Okay.
You know, it's been a good sword to me today. It can have a little more blood as a treat.
Let's bite in, pull on him, then try to stab into his side there. Let's see. That is going to be a hit. Roll your damage. Slashing in for a total of 13. It's enough to hurt him. So.
That is my turn.
You've kept him pretty close by
So
there.
glad I took the jaws.
Mm-hmm. We go to Kiba.
All right. Kind of predicted wrong there, but let's see. I'm gonna have to take out the little guys, I guess. All right.
Oh wait, this little guy should have been making a reflex save himself. Forgot to do that. So he was in it. He crit failed.
Oh yeah,
Lol.
he's dead.
So-
He's dead.
As he looks in surprise that he would use this spell, even with him there, yeah, he is splintered with these icy shards, throwing him to the ground. Dead as well.
Works for me. I'll take out this little guy.
Mm-hmm.
It basically will hit him unless I crit fail. I don't.
By. That definitely hits. Roll your damage. As you slash into this one, they take 26 points of damage. They cleanly go down. Leaving only Daravan. I believe you have one more.
I do. Use the glaive.
That certainly hits.
I don't regret that.
He has been rolling quite well
Yes.
here. So, slashing in, 26 damage. Cold iron still sizzling into him, preventing any regeneration that he might have had. Yeah, he's looking rough, but not destroyed or dead yet. Then we go to Parenth, over here.
Parenth is going to trick magic item and use the wand of heal as 2 actions on himself.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's fair.
So with the one to heal, you do have to roll either
think-
divine or primal, so religion or nature to activate this.
I thought it was going to ask me when I tried to do it.
I wish it did, yeah, but you roll your religion there. I think that's your, yeah, either or. You are able to easily trick the magic item, allowing it to be cast.
Oh, when I hit the use button, it's asking for it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So-
we'll take the 31 there. So, either way. Healing up.
Glad to know that's automated.
Pretty good heal there. 36 to yourself. So
Good
use
enough.
those
He can come in
energies.
later now. That's all he can do, though. That's all 3 actions.
Get your hands off me, heretic!
He's going to try to escape because it's all he can do while he is grabbed.
Do I make a counter check or is it against my DC?
It's against your DC. There are no counter checks in PF2E. It's always against DCs if it's anybody else, but sometimes I'll use them anyway, just for like conversations. But 35 exactly succeeds,
Oh,
Oh, jeepers, that's high.
or rather, critically. Right. No, your DC is 26. Yeah, so he doesn't critically succeed, but he does at least get himself free from it. And with that, well, he only has 1 act or 2 actions rather.
If it doesn't work the first time, try again.
Here we go!
this doesn't trigger an opportunity attack, does it?
Yeah, it does. It's a.
Oh, cool. I'm
really-
gonna make an opportunity attack as he does this.
Mhm.
I'm aiming for his hands.
Actually, yeah, he has to do it this way to get to Kiba instead of Parent there. So aim for him. 14. Not going to be a critical strike, unfortunately. But you do hit for damage, Giraffe. 14.
It's 14 damage.
As he's lashed into, it's not enough to stop the spell from being activated.
Okay.
These spine's vice going out. Sorry, keep it.
Glimpse of Redemption. Hold on, let me click the button.
Mm-hmm.
I think technically it'll work this time.
Yeah. So,
We're in 15 feet.
You can give that
Just as damage.
Yeah, it works. It always works with damage.
Stupefy.
Stupefy there. And Giraffe, add that effect to yourself, please.
Oh, the resistance, not the stupefied. Got it.
So now roll the damage. As each of you does take 34 points of cold damage. Kiba.
I need to do my roll, don't I?
Oh yeah, you're still there. Kiba defending Giraffe as much as he can. Giraffe's still holding up, even after all of that.
730 hero point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm like, why did I only take 25? Like, oh, right. Champion's resistance.
Kiba with a 25. That is still, I believe, going to be a failure against this DC.
I tried my best, guys.
You do fall to the ground, so you at least save Giraffe from the fall as well.
Finally, it works. Only after using the most powerful abilities I have.
Hey, guess what I'm gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Bite. Specifically, grapple him again.
Uh-huh. 13. That will be a success, not critical, so he'll be grabbed but not restrained.
Alrighty, then I'm gonna go with a double slice with my Montbelay and my Bloodthirst.
Sure thing.
I'm gonna waste his action to get away. That's map. Yeah.
Both at map 5, or map 4 for the other one. First strike, 6. Will not hit there. Bloodthirst. Swing from the side, 9. Unfortunately, still misses by 1. So not able to get a good strike in there. Yes, he is still 5-footed to this. He is, yeah, has a pretty high AC. So, that is your turn. As you hold on to him, Giraffe, what do you do?
I go to Parents.
Or, sorry, Parath, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Grant is kind of out of like big spells, but he has a wand.
Oh.
And pulls out this wand and causes a blast of electricity to fire at this guy in the hopes of killing him.
Giraffe's ears are gonna
Succeeds.
scream.
As the crack of lightning careens down, still good on a half roll there. 16 points of damage. He is now near death, but in the orange of it, so it's going to be a little bit more strikes that will take him down. But that'll be you, Parent. So, Kiba, you would actually be before them, which you are. So, I do need now your recovery check, Kiba. You would be at dying 1 to start this off, so let's do that. There we go. Recovery check 16. You are stable for the moment, but still unconscious.
Nice.
So, with that being said, we go to Daravan's turn.
You're not long for this world. I will cut you down.
You're the one who's bleeding out.
He's gonna try touch you with this electricity on his hands, shocking grasp, but because he is stupefied, he is not able to cast this spell. As he sort of mumbles out the words, they sort of slip, and the, well, spell slips from his grasp as well. It fails because of that.
Damn it. I don't seek your redemption.
He's gonna go for one more strike, or one more attempt. He's not even gonna bother trying to escape. So map 5, because the shocking grasp is an attack roll, and he would still technically gone for that attack roll, even though it fizzled. The Falchion does hit. As he slices into you now, Giraffe, you take 21 points of damage.
You will have
No.
some. Oh,
Yes.
Not enough to keep Giraffe up, though. As Giraffe goes down, he is freed from his grasp. But Daravan, still standing, looks over at Parent.
Now it's just you and me, Nat.
Parent, your turn.
at the beginning of my turn, I am going to be using bend time to give myself a move action.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to double move.
Okay.
2 actions remaining. I pull out a healing potion that I have in my inventory.
Okay.
And I am going to feed it to Kiba.
Okay. So, you fumble with it, rushing over, seeing Keepa fall. Press the use on that, he'll be healed by it. Kiba gets pretty good, actually. 19 healing there. Skiba, you quickly awaken.
Nice.
You see Giraffe falling at your side. Daravan,
Kiba, I need you.
Good teamwork. I gently nudge Giraffe in a religious manner.
Okay. Giraffe is
In a
also
religious manner.
lay on hands for 24, and you can give yourself that spell effect. You have 2 more actions, Kiba.
I sure do.
I'm not
And
dying
you know
anymore
what?
now.
This guy's in my range. So what is it? It's only a -2, right? I've got this. How bad could this possibly be? Glaive wipes out at this guy's legs and upward.
It will hit. Roll your damage. Its cleave out upwards towards him, cuts into his thigh, burns with the cold iron and the flames, but he still is yet standing, just barely, as he bleeds a lot there. You have 1 more action, Keeper.
See if I can finish it off.
4 on the dice won't do it, though.
I can't.
He's now aware that you're awake. Deflects the attack.
Last chance.
Giraffe.
Do it.
I'm going to get up
Mm-hmm.
and double slice.
Okay. Getting up, both blades sort of crossed over your chest and then slicing out straight for him. First attack will hit. And as this attack slices into him,
Master, no! I was your servant,
he falls to the ground dead. Second swipes into him, just carves another X across his chest, but that is that. Daravan as well.
Oh, good.
Well,
I'm
That
taking
was-
this.
I think I need to learn that spell.
That would be awesome. Nice moves, Parenth.
Just
Good
don't
job with
hit
that
me
boy.
with it. Sorry, I'm a bit worked up.
Well, we did it at least. These ones, anyways.
And we managed to spare the few who were wise enough to run. Now,
I'm glad we did for more than one reason.
I need a will save from you as well, Giraffe.
oh boy. Public or blind?
Public.
Oh joy.
Giraffe and Parenth. After this fight, after you see the smoldering remains of this holy place of Lamash 2, well, Giraffe, you realize that cutting down one of your kin doing work in her name may have ill effects for you yourself.
Oh.
There is an opportunity, though. If you would like, you can take the curse that may befall Parenth as well, wholly onto yourself, doubling the effects of it, but, well, it being yours to bear.
I'm the one who said we should strike them down. I'll take it.
Alright, so, you take this onto yourself, sort of this flash of understanding for a moment, because it is your god, your goddess. You suffer from the minor curse of Lamash 2, the divine intercession of hers. And it means that all around you, you have this sense of creatures everywhere, all at once, like they're hunting or sort of at the edges of your vision, as if you are mere prey that is always looking over its shoulder, always distracted by what may be around the corner. You consider everything around you to be concealed to you at all times because of this distraction.
Oh no. Oh, that's terrible.
Wow.
I was about to say this is like anxiety. I can roleplay that. Like, oh, it's more than that. Dazzled, is that what you're using for that? Yeah.
Essentially the same thing, because Dazzle makes everything concealed around you.
So Giraffe took that for parents, basically.
Yes.
I don't know if parents would understand that.
You have a feeling. You had a feeling when you blew this place up, this holy place of a goddess. Maybe quite wrathful one.
Are you both okay? You
No.
don't look good. You're a little frostbitten.
A little cold, but nothing a good rest won't handle.
You ever feel betrayed?
Hey, what now?
Do you ever feel betrayed?
Betrayed about what?
To think I followed Lamash to the supporter of the outcasts. I thought, maybe I'll make a kingdom that welcomes the outcast like that.
Well, aren't they corrupting the teachings of that goddess for whatever this purpose is? Remember the goblins? They were freaking out about it, remember?
Yeah.
Nevertheless, seems that she has deigned to curse you for your actions.
Well, now what? We're not really in the best shape to keep exploring in here.
The question is if we have the time to wait. I think we should stop this as soon as we can. Let's patch up as much as we need to and go on.
Kiba's picking up these knives and then this sword and kind of inspects it really curiously. Fascinating.
Oh yeah, this guy has some interesting stuff on him, doesn't he?
Ah, there you are, Yarm.
Oh, hi, Yarm. You just missed
hey.
Giraffe regretting his faith. There you go.
Oh, what did Lamash do this time?
A cursed giraffe.
We almost died, just so you know.
So, to catch you up, Yarmus, you were otherwise doing something else, and it's hard for me to always describe why a player character isn't there when the player isn't.
I prefer the giant flying purple baby explanation.
You catch up to the party after what seems to be this whole temple has been scorched. This temple of Lamashtu, with these bas reliefs on the walls carved in of the three-eyed jackals, the symbol of Lamashtu, sort of hunting fey creatures along the walls, or these carvings into it. You see your allies.
Oh,
wow. Even
Jarmus.
without gas. Even without gas, everything's burning down.
Listen, they deserved it. There's only a couple fireballs this time, at least.
2 fireballs, 3 cones of cold.
No, he cast that
Well-
spell 4 times, not twice. Or 3 times. It was 4.
Oh, it was 4.
Well, I guess that's why nothing's still burning. You even it out. It's more cold than fire.
Is there anything left in here from what they may have been reading from?
Not really.
No.
It was worth asking.
There's probably a bunch of charred pages. Maybe.
Pretty much just the charred remains of it. It burned well in the fire.
Well, we need a moment to recover, and then we need to keep looking. There might be more to this place.
There is more. Whatever he was referring to as Lamashtu's womb.
I can try to get a little more use out of this wand, but I don't think that'd be good for it.
No, it wouldn't. We should take some time now that we don't. There's probably not going to be anything threatening coming after us directly yet. It still might behoove us to move somewhere slightly safer before we patch up our wounds. Maybe the bed area.
Yeah, let's go there rather than this depressing shrine.
Alright.
Giraffe's probably really questioning whether it was him or that sorcerer who was right about Lamashtu. And given the magic that the guy had, Giraffe's really doubting that he was in the right.
I guess time will tell. So, can we use Gaz to heal us up?
For the purpose of it, you guys can spend an hour. Lay on hand spam, other things. Yeah,
Okay.
you'll be healed up.
Fuck it, guys.
So, everyone can place themselves back at full health.
So Giraffe got cursed by Lamashtu?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Parent
Yep.
did too,
What's
But-
this looking like?
but Giraffe had he took it upon himself basically.
All creatures are concealed from me because of illusory feelings of being watched, hunted, just rampant paranoia.
Oh, wonderful.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be just fine.
So,
Well, shall we keep looking around in here, see if there's any other evidence that we can deal with the cause of this?
We shall. I'm ready now.
healing up, getting yourselves better rested, and now with Yarmos to help you out. Yarmos, they did also attack at the sermon time, so yeah, they dealt with a lot of those cultists. And even a few you saw as you were making your way back up here. A few of those cultists, 3 of them, were running away, seemingly. So, a lot were dealt with. And as you guys make your way through here, you find it opens up a little bit, and Giraffe, you notice that there's a smaller passageway to the north, but also a wall, out of place amongst the natural caverns here, of stone. So pretty well placed up. You're not sure how it got there.
That does
Like-
look strange.
I'd like to investigate this.
Sure, roll me a crafting check.
Ooh. Oh, I actually have proficiency in that.
Mm-hmm.
Parents is
Thank
going
you.
to step up to take a look at this wall as well.
Parenth, the construction tells you it's magical. Roll me an Arcana check. It's as if, well, Giraffe, it's a wall of stone to you, but Parent, looking at it from a magical perspective, it is a magically conjured wall of stone as per the Wall of Stone spell.
I think they're protecting something back here pretty big.
I've chosen a more creatively named spell, though.
Do we want to take a look at the other areas before we move through here?
There's some brightly glowing something back there to the left.
It's up to you guys. I can try to bring this wall down, though.
Let's look around first. I think we all have the feeling as to what's behind here.
No. Sorry, and for the purpose of experience points, give yourselves 200 experience points.
I think Yarmos and Gaz shouldn't get anything because they ditched us. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Wow.
kidding.
As you guys look to the north here, you see that it does slope down a bit, the cavern, into what seems to be a lightly glowing slurry up ahead, with many sort of plants in these potting sort of sections here, all being grown in different styles and ways. But the strange thing is that when you look at all of these plants here, every one of them seems to have those watermelon-sized pods sort of entangled with the plants themselves, as if somehow they were grafting or modifying many different plants to hold this same pod.
I hate that.
We should probably cut all this down or destroy it.
Fireball.
I'm not using a fireball on plants.
As you
Well, it
guys
would have been nice if you used them on the plants that other time.
get closer, anybody who is searching, roll your perception check in this little room here.
Oh yeah, 7:30 passed.
Mm-hmm. Giraffe, you get a little bit of a tingle as you look into this room, looking at those pods. The way they pulsate, the way that the room sort of seems to be brimming, you think that there's some danger to be seen in those engorged pods, as if they could explode pretty violently upon an uncareful step into the room or a nudge from somebody passing by.
Back up, Yarmos. Might be wise to find a way to destroy these before we leave.
I
Looking
really
at
wanted to see what was up with those pods or anything else, but
They're ready to blow at the slightest brush.
Well, do you want me to try to poke one?
From a distance, if you can light them a flame, that'd be nice.
Well, I don't have any more fire.
Parenth
Not even.
from your knowledge of survival, you realize that if you were careful and you cut into the root systems that sort of connected all of these plants underneath that slurry of sort of like greasy looking water, you could disable them. You could make them inert in that they won't explode.
What kind of roll would that be?
A survival check.
Hey!
Interesting.
Well, he's going to convey that information to Giraffe, who is probably much better at that than he is.
Do you want me to try?
That's up to you.
I don't
you
see
gotta
any
do-
reason to investigate closer with these plants.
What'd you say,
Let's see.
Dramos?
well, it'll be giraffe exploding if it goes wrong.
He likes that kind of thing, right?
No, I really don't enjoy that.
Don't
Can I
mess up.
see anything in this room that would make it worthwhile to, like, diffuse the bombs?
Only that they could pose some danger another time, perhaps.
Then no.
Okay.
The best option would be to pretty much just sterilize the that part of the cave. Whether it be fire or something else. There's another path from the sermon room I want to check out.
What sort of explosions do you think they might make?
Spores. Maybe similar to those wildflowers. That's interesting. Come look at this.
Giraffe
Huh?
has to
Where?
run off.
Where did you go?
Mm-hmm. They went back to the sermon room there.
We can deal with it later. They ran off.
Give yourselves 80 experience points for noticing and then just passing by those traps. And perhaps what cultists may have been at that room, but you went here during the sermon, so.
You guys are so fast. Slow down.
As you guys look in the north here, it seems to be a room filled with these towering mushrooms. Yellow, all of them. They all have this sort of dusting of this yellowish sort of spore growth along it. It's a veritable jungle of fungus and unusually vibrant plant life here.
Kind of reminds me of those other ones we saw in the cave before, a little bit.
Oh, somewhat.
Well, go try to take a look around without getting too
Search.
close.
Mm-hmm.
As Giraffe becomes one with the wall.
I cast Pass Wall.
That doesn't exist in Pathfinder
The
2.
spell is melted
Shut
to
up.
stone.
Thank you.
Password does actually exist, actually.
See, ha! That must be a nightmare that you're like, okay, let me change the walls on my map.
It's a level 5 spell, so it's not that bad.
Just don't let the players get level 5 spells. It's boom.
Well, that's D&D 5e. It breaks down, but Pathfinder doesn't. But anyway, as you guys look through here, yeah, it seems harmless enough to pass through.
Alright, Giraffe, you go first.
Giraffe, as you go first. You step by some of the mushrooms here, and not the big ones, but these smaller, sort of yellow, white pockmarked ones around the room seem to burst as you sort of step foot close to them, even. And as they burst in a 10 feet radius around you, which includes Kiva here as well.
Yay!
I need you both to make a fortitude save as these spores fill the air.
Oh, we're good at that one. Never mind.
Isn't it nice to feel included?
Well, both of you, do not roll too well on this. You are each inhaling some of these spores before you sort of get yourselves out of it. And, well, you're inflicted by this poison that causes 4 poison damage, but causes each of you to be drained 1 as well.
Thanks, I hate it.
Sort of saps the energy from your body itself. This is a poison that feels like it's progressing very quickly, so you have 6 seconds. What do you guys do from here?
Cough, hack. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Wheezing.
I guess get out of that radius.
Yes, so you guys rush away, but it's still coursing through your bodies as you've inhaled this poison. It's affecting you as it goes forward.
I don't personally have anything to deal with that.
Sarmaso?
Yarmus is going to quick alchemy up a antidote.
I have
And,
healer's
I guess-
tools.
I guess
Giraffe
Kiba is closest.
Yeah.
Giraffe ran off ahead.
I ran off to the side to get out of the spores. I am proficient with medicine, and I have a healer's tools kit on me. Can I use that to treat poison?
Yes. You can. So, Giraffe, you're sort of fumbling with your tools a little bit. You feel a little bit alone here as those shadows in the corners of the room, but you're able to just barely push past them. But a 17 is not going to get past the DC of this poison to help you with it. So, Giraffe will make another fortitude save. Now, with the antidote lesser, Yarmus, put it out to chat for us so we can see the spell effects.
Oh, I just handed it
That's fine.
to Kiba.
There it is. So, yeah, Kiba, you can add that spell effect to yourself, and then you make your fortitude save as well.
Giraffe, I thought there was nothing in there.
I missed it.
So 30, Kiba. You, with the help of the antidote actually, are able to get through this poison. You are no longer taking damage or increasing your drain level, but drain persists always for 24 hours. So, we go over to Giraffe, however. Giraffe, you failed another roll here. You take 2d8 poison this time as it continues to course through you for 10 damage there, and drained 2 this time.
Oh, this is fun.
seems the spores have settled and they only burst from these particular pods. You could pass by and move back to your group if you want to.
So it looks like my result was technically a 32. I don't know if that changed anything.
It wouldn't change anything.
Cool. There was a toggle I needed to click that I didn't click.
Yeah, I was keeping it in mind when I said.
Excellent.
So, being said, Giraffe, you rush back to the group. Yarmus, is there anything else you do in these 6 seconds before he takes another sort of hit of this?
Yep, he's gonna quick off me up a second one.
Mm.
Goes to Raph.
Alrighty. So, Giraffe, you can just roll your fortitude save here.
Alrighty.
We know what it does. 13. Total of 26. That does reduce you down to stage 1, taking only 1d8 damage.
28 with the antidote.
Mhm.
Or if he's just making.
Yes. So it's still success there. You take 4 damage. I need 1 more fortitude save from you. And you can even treat poison, I think, again, right?
Yeah.
So
So
try
that's a
that as
medicine
well.
check.
Sort of
So
using some vapors or other things to go into your bodies to help you against this a little bit more. So that'll give you, I think, a +2 on your next one, as well as a +2 of the item bonus of the antidote. So it's a total of +4. Roll your fortitude one more time here. Total of +4 on top of this is 24. That is just barely enough. You're able to resist the effects of this any further, but it leaves you at drain 2 as those spores sap your body.
Do those mushrooms appear to be leaving lingering clouds?
They do not. It seems
They
like
s-
when
they
one bursts,
settled.
they settle.
Then in that
Should
case,
be safe to go here.
perhaps Parent and I should spend a moment popping some mushrooms at long range, 30 feet or whatever.
I mean, if he can see them, he can.
There's a lot of them. You're not sure which are which.
Right.
So it would take a lot of time. probably.
Fireball.
It would take some time, but yeah.
Or maybe another like nature check or a perception check to sort of figure out which ones are the ones you'd focus on.
Yeah. Well, now seeing the results of exploding and whatnot, I will. Parents will look again more closely.
Yeah, same.
Parent, it's a just jungle of these things. You can't tell if there's any around a small corner or anything like that. But Kiba, with your sharp eyes, you are able to tell the positions of the remainder of these. So that one was destroyed. So there's one there, and down here.
Nice.
If he just points them out, can parents just pop them?
Yeah, you can
I can
just
pop
sling
them
off
too.
any sort of ranged attack. Like, what would you be using? Like electric arc or something, right?
Teleknife projectile.
I have phase bolt. We can both do it.
Blow up the mushrooms with other mushrooms.
So with Kiba slinging off a quick bolt and Parent throwing rocks around, they are destroyed. The spores blow into the air, but then settle on the floor of it. You are no longer at risk of any more eruptions of them. So give yourselves, what is the trap thing here? What is the XP? 60 experience points for those.
Well, he should be safe at least for now. No telling what else is in here, though.
There's a tent over here, I think.
A tent? Maybe it belongs to that leader guy. Maybe there's more we can find out in there.
So, these guys go down here.
Nice.
You find that the slope of this cavern goes upwards to the south here, slowly ascending out of the soggy mess of water and fungus that stains the cave floor elsewhere. Reveal that some condensation still drop from the walls, forming trickling trails of water that run down to the cave floor to the north. The walls far south are decorated with bas-relief images of those three-eyed jackals, with plants and flowers growing along their bodies. And then, of course, there's this tent, that it seems to be out of place amongst all of this. As you come inside here, it's well furnished. It has a few, shelves and other things. Seems to be Daravan's retreat, it would seem. And as you go through here, you don't notice any particular treasures. Perhaps they were already on Daravan himself. But you do find some books and folios mostly prayer books devoted to the worship of Lamastu around the Yurtir. And as you're pouring through it all, you discover basically the full details of his plan to transform the Stolen Lands into a haven for Lamastu's monstrous minions. They note about how he first learned of these caverns via a vision shown to him by the goddess, and showing a ritual he calls the Monstrous Bloom Ritual. His notes then conclude with a theory that the bloom of Lamastu created out of that ritual at what he calls a scar, or rather a planar scar. He was able to create a bloom of Lamastu within a host, the body of a most unusual chimera that the goddess saw fit to provide him, he says. So, suffice to say, this bloom of Lamastu is contained within a chimera. And it draws its power directly from the corruption in the breached scar there, effectively transferring the sort of conjuration of that scar, that breach, in the planar sort of mesh into the creature, and allowing this curse to spread. For that reason, though, he can't remove the creature or the bloom, and he notes his fear that should the bloom host be destroyed, all his work will have been for naught.
Is there like a diagram for the ritual or anything that he did, or is that not here?
Let me see, actually. You might be on him. There is, the Monstrous Bloom Ritual. Well, it says PC's. Why the hell did they do this with a spell that's on his sheet? It's not intended. Yeah, it's an evil ritual. It's
I
some
just
stuff, but yeah.
Parents would be
Maybe.
interested to understand it, so he can try to like unweave it, or
Yeah.
to break it. That
Mhm.
not to actually like use
for
it
no-
himself.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was reading that.
Mhm.
You don't need to read it.
Yeah.
Yes, we become evil. We make this even worse.
But yeah,
Make up Lamastu's work for
you
giraffe.
you understand quite a bit more about it. That its sort of crux is this host, this chimera. If the chimera is slain, perhaps the curse will be lifted.
We need to kill this creature.
Absolutely.
Also,
the quicker, the better.
at the back of the tent, before you guys go, like in the back of the inside of the tent, you find a red rope hanging from it. Just from the wall.
Rope.
A red rope.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Any-
random.
Just a.
Anything
I
special
grab
about
the
it?
red rope.
And as you pull it, the whole yurt around you sort of like flips around and away from you. Sort of, these papers go flying, the other things, and the yurt sort of magically contains itself down to the size of a regular sort of like carry-on sort of.
Oh, is that the
bag.
yurt we took off of his corpse?
Correct. Yes.
That's very fascinating. I won't have to sleep outside anymore.
I don't have to sleep outside anymore.
Yes, you
Sorry,
do.
Parent.
Oh gods, that was terrifying. What? Okay.
It's magical. Don't
Kibo
worry
was
about it.
standing outside as he saw this yurt suddenly collapse in itself because he was keeping an eye for people passing by.
Can I make a survival check to plot out a route from here to here that doesn't hit any of the mushrooms?
We dealt with those already.
Mhm.
Are
Oh,
we
never
done?
mind. Okay.
Well, that was interesting.
I mean, unless we fail.
That is a cool item.
Mm-hmm.
That's extremely cool. We're gonna use that.
Is it mechanically useful? Probably not.
Yeah.
Is it thematically awesome? Yeah.
No, it's
Uh,
mechanically useful.
Food and water every night. We got a
Oh, I
place
didn't
to
see that
rest,
part.
Safe from, theoretically safe from the weather, unless it's like terribly bad weather.
So,
Not quite as good as a dinosaur fort, but
As you guys enter this cavern, it sort of widens out to this cavern where the fungus and moss on the floor has been sort of scraped and pushed into mounds at the edges of the chamber, leaving swaths of moist mud and sort of... well, mud is always moist, but yes, swaths of mud sort of in the center of the room. It seems to have been stepped through a lot by, well, what seemed to be... is that going to work for me? 1 second, guys. Okay. Won't actually work there. 1 second. What seemed to be, well, these red-capped, scythe-wielding, gnome-adjacent creatures. It's sort of been throwing around these balls of, like, these balls of, like, insects' legs from pretty large insects. You're not sure what exactly those are. It is not allowing me to copy-paste. I changed these guys for 3 people, but they're going back to the appropriate amount for 4. If it will... there it is. There we go. As they sort of notice you guys appearing here, well, they're just going to shout,
Looks like the cultists have sent us more blood. Let's cut 'em down, boys.
your initiatives.
Oh, this is gonna suck.
Well, that's horrible.
Just because you fought these in Baldur's Gate doesn't mean they're anything here.
Well, they're not cheap, I'll tell you that.
As usual, my perception's coming, or my initiative's coming pre-built with that +1 from scouting.
So if
But you have to modify everybody else's.
it will not change anything except parents. Move up there. Alright, so with that, let us begin the encounter. Starting with some of them that sort of shriek for your blood as they rush out.
Finally something that's fun.
So where's my combat encounter? There we go. They're just gonna rush up, and they rush very quickly on these sort of steel-toed boots as they come out towards you here. Giraffe, as they rush towards you, they're going to, combining that action with this one, they're going to try to knock you down with this sort of boot strike here.
Oh boy.
Get him on the ground, start. You're supposed to stay down.
Gonna go for another. They're gonna miss that one. That'll be that one's turn.
That's like a crit fail. That doesn't... Yeah, I don't have the ability that lets me opportunity attack when they crit fail on the attack against me.
Rushes up, will do one action to stride a little bit, then another action to use their stride with the boot strike, but this will miss Parent as they try to strike into him. They're going to try to strike one more time as they try to kick and sort of pull you guys to the ground to stomp. But they're not able to stomp you guys down, so Giraffe, we go to your turn first.
Dazzled and Drain 2. Let's go. I'm going to double slice the red cap in front of me. Is that what these guys are called? What should I call
Yeah, they're red caps. I think they're still red caps in the remaster because they're like a culture thing. They can't take that away from them. So this will hit. Roll the damage.
Oh, cool. It auto does the dazzle.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Okay, so it's the flat DC check is 5. That's not too bad.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of bad, but it's not...
Yeah.
Also, seems like the flat check is the correct shade of green to trigger the green screen on the stream, so that's great. Anyway.
Whoops.
Oh, love that.
20 damage to this little red cap here. They're going to make a fortitude save. And these guys might not have the greatest fortitude save. They critically failed a giant swath's venom. So they're going to take this 3d6. I'm going to roll that there.
Oh.
Oops. I'll take yours.
Sorry.
That's fine.
They're the same anyways.
Yeah, same. So they take the 8, and they will be clumsy, which is actually pretty bad for these guys, as seem like they rely on their reflex. So, first strike hits. Trev goes for a second. This time also succeed. This one critically succeeding because they are clumsy. Otherwise, it would not have. As that venom courses into them rapidly, they become a little bit more clumsy on their feet, yeah, and
Yeah, that's
do
very clumsy on your feet.
an easy straight for the neck. They fall to the ground dead. All right,
Then
so
I'm going to twin parry.
twin pairing. Then we go to Kiba.
Cool. I'll go there so I can strike out at this guy, the one on the left here.
Hmm?
Oh, this will burn them hard if I hit them.
Strike back at them, just barely not a crit, but a hit.
That would have been silly.
They shift their position at the last moment, realizing the strike is coming in. They try to deflect it but can't. They take the damage. And more venom. This guy rolls an 18 but only succeeds, but that still means that they are not affected by
Yeah.
it.
Okay, follow up to try to finish him off.
A hit. Another slash into them. It's not enough to kill them though, as they hold up against your attacks.
I did enough that you guys could probably take him down just easily. But now, I'll be protecting you all a little bit.
Cut him down.
Rush forward. Goes for Kiba. As they do so, they're going to try to make this stomping strike out towards you. But they miss, so they're going to go for one more. This one also misses, okay. Not rolling too well, not getting these
So cute how they're trying.
abilities to work for them. This one only needs to spend a single action to do his boot stride thing that he does, since he is closer. But this is going to miss as well. Yeah, well, these guys are going to have a terrible time actually trying to strike you guys down. Yeah.
AC.
Pretty high AC on the champion. They're gonna go for another attempt at stomping. This one misses by one.
Ha ha ha!
Why won't you go
Oh,
down?
that feels good.
I'll pluck those feathers from you.
I'd like to see you try.
That'll be their attempted intimidation. Baron, we go to your turn.
Well, I'm gonna try to electrocute them just a little bit.
Hmm? Working for those two. They both fail, actually. Blasting this electricity into them, they take the full damage. So that one, 16, puts them down to 0. This one, pretty hurt. Alright, anything else?
Panther's gonna move up behind Kiba actually, and that's his turn.
Alright, going to this one in the far corner there.
What are you idiots doing? Get that blue one.
They're gonna rush up, doing their boot strike. They have to do it twice because they don't have the distance for this ability. They will succeed, and this time, finally, they knock you prone. As they hit you with this sort of
Thanks.
stomping strike, you would take 12 damage.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Enfeeble.
Hmm?
The gods won't be too happy.
And
You should
also,
stop.
as part of the stomp, you take 2d6 bleeding, as these pointed boots slam into you as part of you falling. Now, they go for a scythe strike.
Now that you're down.
But they're not going to hit that. So, Yarmos, we go to you.
Right. Thomas is going to start by attempting to use the skunk bomb against this one.
Okay.
Top right corner, so it doesn't hit anyone else, but
Yep. It will hit. Roll the damage. For a total of 6 there. And the fortitude.
indeed.
Blasted by it, but he's going to succeed there. He will still be sickened 1. Because he didn't get rid of the bomb. It hit him point blank.
Yeah. Thomas then going to step up over here and finish off by preparing to aid Graph's next strike against Graph. Any target in particular you're interested in?
Any what am I interested in?
Any target in particular you're interested in?
Probably this one, as
Gotcha.
the ones at the top are more prone to the area effects that are dragon friend is likely to do.
Okay. So with this one's going to rush up and then try to gang up on Parent as they swing the scythe down. Lash in for a hit. As it hits your Parent, you are dealt a total of 12 damage from that strike.
A lot tougher than we thought. It doesn't
It's a
matter.
dragon! What did they expect?
And they miss that strike as well.
I'll just get some blood. These cultists a bit boring.
Going to step up, and seeing that Parent is surrounded. Is that sickened the top one has?
Yep.
Is that going to make it easier to hit or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm going to double slice it.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to double slice. Not double slicing.
I get a strike in. Just able to hit and just able to crit, actually.
Whew. I'm so glad I'm not double slicing.
Carving in with the Mumble, dealing 38 damage to them. As, yeah, that's a nasty blow to them.
And then I'm... Is that a success?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to stab them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to take a nap.
This one also exactly critically strikes because they are sickened. So you then stab straight into their gut. Pulling it out, they fall to the ground.
And I gain
dead.
1d8 temp.
Mm-hmm. 1.
How exciting.
4 HP from the bloodthirst. So, with one more down, we go back to Kipo.
Excellent. I don't really have a good setup for flanking right now, so I'm just going to focus on this one that's already taken a good hit. And I'll consider my movement afterward.
6 on the dice will hit. Hardest to strike down. These lesser fey creatures, bloodthirsty ones, they even take a little bit more from the cold iron.
Yeah, see if I can finish him off. Second strike. Swing my glaive. I re-roll that glaive with my 830 hero point.
Absolutely. Slash one more time for them. 9 on the dice, total of 20. Will unfortunately miss by 1. So
Bummer.
just barely able to deflect with their scythe there. So, going back around to them.
If I die getting you knocked down, getting you to bleed, I'll be happy.
And they use their stomp ability to strike down at you. So that means as you take this damage, you take 11 and fall prone immediately. So they are experts of sort of hooking you with these sort of chains on their boots, allowing you to fall. So with that being prone on you, there we go.
Well, how do I prone? There we go. Thank you.
Yep. Bleed as well occurs as they sort of stomp after the strike. And ignore that roll. I don't know why it ever rolls like that. It should be rolling at the end of your turn. Anyway, you're also being struck again and again because of their agile attacks from these boots. They just want to get good strikes into you, or trying at the very least.
There we go. Come and get this one.
Oh, this one has some fight in him, unlike the rest.
I'm going for the dragon.
This one slices down with the scythe, trying to decapitate or do anything they can, but they miss with that strike. They're going to go for another scythe strike. 14 will actually hit Parent. As they carve down, you're taking 17 points of damage there, Parent.
That's a
Damn.
bit more.
And that is their turn. Parent, what do you do?
Parent uses an action to stand,
Mm-hmm.
and Parent is going to inhale deeply.
I apologize for the bad spot I picked. Haha. Oh well.
And he's going to breathe out a blast of water.
Okay. They're gonna make reflex. 12 and 18 both succeed. They seem to be much faster than they are strong. So they
We'll
each
still
take half.
take half of this pitiful damage.
Are you trying to wash us?
You guys reek, you know that? No, that's the wrong voice.
This is Kobold breath. With a higher damage dice.
Yarmos, go over to you.
Only 2 actions for. Oh right, one to get up.
Mm-hmm. Parent, take that lead. Yarmos. What's the plan? Is
I think you're muted.
Yeah, you might be muted.
Sorry. Hello. Hi.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I just described my entire turn once. I'll do it again. Garment's gonna carry out a skunk bomb via his familiar, and then he's gonna lob it at the bottom left corner of this guy. Simply take it out.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
As blasts into them. It will be a critical strike, actually. Hits them right in the face with a skunk bomb. The poison bursts across them. They take 10 points of damage there. They're not dead, though, from that. Make a fortitude save for...
Both this one and yeah.
Mm-hmm. They fail. They are slowed and sickened.
I was really hoping that one would die from a bottle being on his forehead. That would have been great.
This one here also fails, but they take 1 higher, so they only get sickened
Yes,
1.
sickened. Yarmur's gonna finish off his turn by quick alchemying up a vial of centipede poison and slathering it onto Giraffe's Mambale.
Okay,
That's the first turn.
so going over to this one.
Hey, you stay down.
Gonna go for another boot strike that has that stomp ability with it. They're going to miss, though. They go for another, trying again. They're going to miss. They're gonna try again. As you're sort of dipping away from each of these strikes, they're trying to hook your leg or do something to pull you to the ground. But every time you're able to dodge away from Parent, that'll be their turn. Giraffe.
These guys desperately need reactive boots.
Yeah, I want to move right here.
Easily can.
Say that again.
Easily can, yeah.
Easily can. I routed a path around, but like if I can
you
go
can
that
just
way.
go
I
from
will.
Parent to like the
Yeah, like that.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
I am going to double slice this one here and hope that I get some crits. Like
Sure.
No. I'm gonna double slice the one up here because it's sickened.
Mm-hmm. Seeing that one a little bit weaker. Well, first strike hits. Slicing in with a Mumble. Carves in for 16, but is... Well, give me a moment, guys. I need to hit the 16 there.
Sorry.
No problem.
Spamming rolls.
That is also going to be a hit there, but don't roll the damage first. I need to roll their fortitude save for the venom. 3 on the dice will be a critical failure because they are already sickened. Their body isn't able to fight it off. So 1d8 poison damage, and they are off guard for future. And because they are off guard, that's why I'll ask you to wait for the rolls. This might change. No, it doesn't change anything about that roll, but it is a hit, Giraffe.
Okay, lesson learned. I'll be more patient.
That's fine. Double ones.
Minimum damage.
9 to him. Doesn't carve in as deeply as you'd hoped. That's, I think, your turn.
Yep.
Kiba, on the floor.
I'm gonna get up. And first things first, I'm just gonna take this one out.
Mm-hmm. Surprisingly slow. They don't have reactions. They just are fast on
Good.
the uptake.
Jump up to my feet. I swing out my glaive right in this one's face and
Carves straight into their face. Roll a crit. I don't think they're going to survive either way, but
Ooh.
yeah, with that 64 damage, it cleaves straight through their head. They go to the ground dead.
The police won't be able to identify his body.
Increasing
that.
slow to 3 stages.
Then I will go here because this sets up, potentially sets up a flank unless this guy gets out of the way or something. But
They're already
Okay, good.
flat-footed, with off guard already.
cool. Well, not a whole lot of. Wait. Where was I?
You were
That's
here.
3
You could
actions.
strike from the position you were at because it's 10 feet away.
I was here.
Mm-hmm.
This considers him to be 15 feet.
So they are 10 feet for the purpose of reach.
Oh, let's do
So,
that.
Reach is slightly different.
I'll take it.
And that'll hit. Roll the damage.
Thank you.
Cleaving down into this one there. 20 there. A little bit extra because of their weakness to cold iron. They're barely holding on there. So, we go back to their turn. And this whole fight, have barely been able to use this. They have fast healing because of that hat that sort of like seems to be dipped with blood and streams down them a bit there. So they get a little
We
bit of
should
healing.
take off their hats.
And they go for a strike with the scythe against Parent. They're just going for easy targets here, but they can't really follow up on it. With 2 on the dice, they're just going to go for 2 more scythe strikes. There's not much else they can try to do with those rolls. That'll be their turn. Why don't you just sit still?
I am sitting still.
Like,
Parent is going to electric arc these 2.
Mm-hmm. I got him.
I targeted myself on accident, apparently.
I got him. Natural 20 on one as they dip away, but the other one fails. This one that was badly injured is the one that resisted fully. The other one, yeah, takes some damage. Alright.
Parent is getting away from them.
Mm-hmm. And as you rush away... Oops, sorry. We go to Yarmus's turn. Do take that bleed. You still take it even if you succeed.
Mhm.
Just, yeah, one after the other. So, Yarmus, yours.
Yarmus is gonna step down here, valet a skunk bomb into one hand, and then prepare to, and then prepare to aid Giraffe on his next strike against this one
Mm-hmm.
at the top above him. That's it first turn.
Alright. Now to this one.
Oh, come on. Let's get this blood flowing.
This one's going to use their boot strike thing to stride around here.
I'm going to make an opportunity attack.
Mm-hmm.
Let's treat the bloodthirst.
Alright. Slicing out towards them. This, unfortunately, actually, you didn't have them targeted, but that will be a hit, actually. Roll the
Oh,
damage.
sorry.
16 there. Slices easily into him. Pretty badly injured for that, but still allows them to make this stomping strike. Trying to pull Yarmus now to the ground will not be successful. They're going to go for 2 more attempts. As part of this ability, allows them to stride and strike with this stomp. But, well, not with the rolls these guys have been having. So, Giraffe, back to you.
I'm going to do a single slice against our not so friendly neighborhood gnome here.
Mhm.
Thanks for putting up
That
with us
age,
against gnomes. This has been really distressful. I mean, de-stressing. It's
De-stressing.
therapeutic.
Well, these guys are not rolling like they need to be effective in this group, but yeah, that's an easy crit.
Yo, that's a crit. If only I could get that crit while the other guy was here.
26 puts them down to 0. They are dead from a clean swipe.
Then I'm going to walk over. That's 15 to go here.
Mhm.
10 more to go there. Target. Then an agile attack with Bloodthirst.
Alrighty.
Come on. Just a little more blood.
Quick swipe. That dazzle has not been distracting you. That's a hit.
Don't worry, once we level up, the dazzle will never come into play again.
13 damage there. They're near death, but not there yet. So, Kiba, let's see if you can finish him.
Fun question.
Hmm?
Is this a flank with Giraffe?
No, it's always perpendicular, so you have to be behind
Okay.
Yarmus to do it.
Is there a penalty to attacking over Yarmos?
No, because he's small.
He's short. Man, kobolds are great for that. They're just short. They're small. Can't wait to play them with a kobold.
Tactical flank back.
Striking out over Yarmus, clean swipe. That's a crit.
Incredible.
And as you cleave them down, one more, the final one,
Another
These are
one the
caps.
police won't be able to identify.
that is them done. So, give yourselves 80 experience points for that encounter. All right, let me check on something real quick. You can give yourselves 80, but let me make sure. Oh, Is that really a one? That's really a 120 encounter. Okay, yeah, give yourselves a 40 extra after that to 80.
Oh wow.
It's the amount of creatures. If they start critting with those sides,
Yeah.
with just the amount of attacks they make, but every single one of my many attacks I made was terrible. So,
Well, yeah, they're gnomes. Of course they're terrible.
They are not gnomes. They are weird things.
They look like gnomes.
At the same time, if they, deadly and fatal, does scale poorly with low levels, being low level.
I'm gonna search this room to try to figure out what they were doing.
So you see these little balls of like these sets of baskets that have been made from the tangled legs of a dozen or dozens of those fey creatures that you saw before or saw once. Remember the fey glade with the fairy dragon, the companion to them. There's like fey insectoids, very far back.
I remember that. That's grim.
Yeah, they seem to have been tearing those creatures apart and playing some sort of gnome ball with them.
See? Gnomes.
Or red cap ball, whatever.
Thank you, Kiba. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Apparently, they really like the idea of stomping me.
Otherwise,
They're
Little
dragon.
creatures.
An easy target.
nothing of note in this room otherwise.
While
The
walking
Addy.
forward, Giraffe
Red
occasionally
Captain.
while walking forward, Giraffe occasionally looks behind him only to see the party.
You're a little jumpy today, aren't you, Giraffe?
Don't want to talk about it.
Will
Huh.
you be trying to make atonements for that?
Still making up my mind on that.
As you guys come to the south here, down a long cavern, you find another stone wall that's out of place just like the other, another created from a spell. Though, as you approach this one, there's a shimmer at the center of it, in this sort of like vague vortex. And out of it comes this figure. This bearded, translucent figure of what seems to be a gnome, in fact. It sort of reaches out a hand. Its other arm seems to have been crushed or pulled off. There's just a stump of bone showing on it. Come through, please. Help. Before it disappears once more.
Well, it said help.
Can I do an insight?
Sure.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going straight through.
I'd like to make that as well.
Mm-hmm.
That was perception, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You guys can't be quite sure. You just saw them for a glimpse. A translucent sort of creature that came through the wall.
I already kind of played this one as Kibo leaping before looking, so yeah.
So is there like a portal here, or what's going on here?
It seemed like that was just a description of how it looked when a ghostly figure came through the wall. Otherwise, it's
Cool.
just stone.
I'm
It's a
gonna put my
ghost,
hand on
so-
the wall.
It's stone.
Should we go up to the other wall and take care of that first, or this one?
This one.
Okay.
Okay.
There's much more of an urgent need.
Terrence, you said you had an idea?
I'm going to drain bonded item and cast a spell on this wall.
Okay. Roll your counteract check. Okay, 31. Unfortunately, due to the rank of the spell that makes these stone walls, you feel like the power of the dispel magic at second level is not enough. Even on a success there. So, if you want to dispel higher power things, you have to put dispel magic in higher power slots. So, if it was at 4th level, you could dispel on a failure 4th level spells, or 5th level on a success, right?
Okay. Are we waiting here 10 minutes? I can try again.
I don't mind waiting.
It's a stone
Perhaps.
wall. You could
However,
do other things.
What'd you say?
It's just a stone wall, though.
You could punch it down, yeah. Probably.
Or you guys can punch it down.
Can
it's
I
a
make-
shame I currently have my weapon set to fight the undead.
Can I just make an athletics check to try and barrel through the wall?
Sure. Forcing it open.
Just brute force.
This is like the one place, that one niche barbarian feat that I always skip over.
I'm going
when
to
it works.
use a hero point.
You don't want to just bounce off the wall.
Yeah, break your shoulder. With this roll, 12, total of 28. As you barrel into it, you sort of slam in, and it sort of wavers a moment there before it does tumble down. These few sort of bricks that are sort of like congealed together as part of the spell. Yeah, you're able to make quick work of it. Maybe over the course of a couple of minutes with that roll.
Dispel magic.
Listen, you can't take my job that easily.
We'll find. We'll see.
I just had an idea. What about that ring that we have?
The ring?
Oh yeah, the
One
ring.
with the ram's head on it.
Oh, that's junk.
As you
Yeah,
guys
Wow.
broke down this wall, you find that these caverns beyond it are much cooler and drier than those leading up to it, with not a spot of mold or vegetation growing on its floors or walls, which are entirely free of the shine of condensation. Very little of interest lies within this empty, dry cavern, save for what you can see down beyond: a skeleton.
Skeleton appears.
Odd.
Is it a small skeleton?
It is. And it also seems to have one of its arms just torn away from it. Yes, I know the asset doesn't show that, but as you get close, there's that same shimmer before reaching out from it is this gnomish ghost.
There you are, saviors of the land. You are here to destroy those cultists' work, are you not?
Yes, it is quite threatening to everybody in this land.
Yes,
Lord.
even
And everything.
everything and everyone, regardless of race or oath.
Very good, then. I am, or was, Jin Derwimmer. I came to these caverns years ago, when a ritual I conducted to commune with nature revealed the presence of the corrupted breach scar within these caverns. I explored it before it was rife with these plants, rife with these cultists even. And in those years before, I realized that there was no centralized point of this corruption that plagues these caverns. So I chose that part of the cavern in the northwest as a place to attempt to heal a breach that was created here. Do
The
you
other wall.
understand what this breach is? What its true nature is?
Supposed to be demonic in nature.
No.
Or bring some. Oh,
No,
The
he's...
cultists called it the womb of Lamashtu.
They've
So I can-
corrupted it themselves. The
Parent?
kobold is right. It is corrupted by demonic, abyssal energies. For in the past, before I even came here, in the days of the Sarkoris scar, of Arilu Volesh's work, a copycat tried to create another scar to the abyss here, though died in the process and only corrupted it to a degree, never creating a full permanent portal to the abyss like it is in Sarkoris.
it be possible for us to try to close this thing, or get rid of it, or remove it?
Yes, it will be possible if you heal the corruption that has been caused. Luckily for you, the corruption is abyssal, but it's naturally a fey scar. The Stolen Lands have many like places where the connection between the first world and here is thin. That alone is not enough to bring creatures across, but this cult, this caravan, they've opened it with this ritual, this bloom ritual of theirs to anchor the connection to the Fey realms and Kernugir, the Mastu's abyssal realm, into one twisted portal.
Beyond twisted. But what about you? How did you come upon this fate? Did cultists do this to you?
No. When I came here, it was just an abyssal scar or attempt at a copy of Rilu Volesh's work. I tried to heal it myself, and I failed. The blast was too much. I found myself shattered against the wall, here at this site, as my ritual did not scare where within these caverns it was conducted. Seems Daravan chose their ritual site as the far left cavern.
We've learned that they've summoned some sort of thing.
Chimera.
Yes, it has to do with this beast they have.
I have felt its presence, but I cannot go far from my corpse. They walled me in here after I, stopped their attempts to settle this part of the caverns for their cult. Saw me as too much work, even in my ghostly state. I plead to you. I wish for you to defeat this cult and heal the breach scar. Banish the jackal's breath from these caverns. Heal the scar by destroying the bloom of Lamashtu. That is the key to cleansing these caves and returning things to their natural order, so that I may pass on finally. My work done.
Well, I am a wizard. How would I go about closing this scar once we've dealt with the beast?
As I have mentioned, destroying the bloom, the anchor that keeps the corruption going, will be enough to heal the scar. The scar itself to the first world will remain, but the abyssal taint will not stay as long as that bloom is destroyed, that profane ritual undone, the anchor slain.
Bloom placed inside the chimera.
Slaying the anchor, now that we can do.
Do you know anything about perhaps mending the rift between here and the first world as well? That seems like another issue that might come to bite us in the back.
That requires greater powers than I, or perhaps even you, command at the moment. For they are more of a natural occurrence in the world of Galarian. These places where some act far, far in the past allowed the connection between one plane and the material of Galarian to be tenuous, to be able to be exploited by casters of magic. Though in its current state, or in its healed state, without the abyssal corruption, it won't pose a threat to you.
Well, I guess we know what we must do then.
So the objective is fairly clear.
Just kill the chimera and the bloom within. That is all you must do from this point. And once you do so, hasten yourself back to my corpse. I will remain as long as I can to teach you the rituals that I know from my past life. rituals that may aid you in these stolen lands.
That would be very kind of
Then
you.
we shall.
Do it that your soul can rest.
Do it quickly. I cannot stay on this plane for long.
As his sort of will to keep his spirits transient in your material rather than the ethereal wanes, he sort of goes back to the corpse.
I assume we do at least have time for a quick 10-minute rest. Wouldn't you think, Parent?
Yes, but we need to hurry. I am running low on energy from my magic, so hopefully it's can be dealt with quickly.
10-minute rest? And then we rush this chimera.
Already.
So, 10 minutes pass.
I heal up, Parent.
Do we make a recall knowledge check from here in case any of us know anything about chimeras?
Would be difficult without eyes on, but yeah. Nature.
Gotcha. Alright. Well, it's worth a shot anyways. Unless we get incorrect information, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yarmos, you guess that you're dealing with a strange chimera. You don't know exactly what to say specifically about it, because chimeras are known to be three-headed, like amalgamations of different beasts, and you have no way of telling which beasts are actually amalgamated without laying eyes on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, as long as we stay away from it when its eyes turn blue, and get close when its eyes turn violet.
This is not Final Fantasy. Does Drumwells have any mutagens or anything prepared?
He has his energy mutagens as usual.
Did I Drake Heart one?
Yep, and a Drake run. Right, I didn't. I dragged it over at the beginning of whenever we got the short rest, the long rest, our last, well, not long rest, our last rest for the night.
Yeah, your last rest was before entering this place, so you
Yeah.
would be, you'd be a fool.
Yeah, Yarmos, go all out on us.
Thank you, Yarmos. This should help me not hopefully get murdered.
I'll do what I can to protect you. I apologize for overextending this last fight.
Alright, so I'm going to move you guys myself because it's
Fantastic.
faster.
Did the skeleton have a spellbook on it?
No, it was a druid.
Aw. Don't awe at me.
Come on, DM, you got throw Pyrite a spellbook. He deserves it.
That's not my character.
Throw Parent the spellbook.
Oh boy, Willow Roach is teleporting us.
I can't
Boom.
because I have to turn off the alt key for that. Because my alt key is my keybind. So I'm just going to move you guys around. And yeah, the druid did promise rituals that anybody can learn in 5e, or PF2e. So,
Oh, cool, we're changing systems.
no, never do that.
My character will become so much worse.
Yay!
So, as you guys arrive back here, the only thing that stands in your way is this stone wall.
I'm pushing it down.
Alright, Giraffe.
Yep.
Be my dispel magic.
In the meanwhile, Kiba had fished out that ring because he's really curious about it
Mhm.
and put it on. So
Here's on the dice. Giraffe, it's going to take you about 10 minutes of work to push this thing down. But eventually you do get it down.
what if I help?
With your help, it would be faster. But as the wall goes down, simply enough. Oops, where's my... There we go.
Oh, did he forget to put the monster in there?
No. As you guys arrive here, through the wall, the scene quickly changes before you. It's difficult to discern the exact dimensions of this vast, sprawling cavern due to the riot of strange vegetation and fungus that grows within. Clouds of mist roiling 20 feet above obscure both the cavern roof and the tops of the strange trees, oversized ferns, and enormous mushrooms that grow within. The ground below, though, is a moist tangle of roots, moss, and soil. The air itself is raw, humid, and thick with the stink of decay. Somewhere above, through those vapors, a sickly yellow light sifts through the mist to light the entire cavern below, almost as if there were no roof to the chamber, and sunlight were drifting down through the vapors.
Surprising to think this is all underground. I didn't even know you could grow plants like this underground.
Roll me a Arcana check, Parenth. You realize what you're looking at, and with the sunlight above, that very well may be sunlight from a different plane of existence altogether, reaching through the vapors above you. How, big this scar really is, how connected it seems to be to the first world itself.
Be careful, Giraffe. The thing is definitely here. Well, I feel like the scar is in this very room.
I look up.
You look up, and scanning the cavern walls, you begin to realize that there is a shape amongst the vapors here, sort of with the sunlight at its back, sort of casting through the vapors. It gives a little bit of a shadow. You see one head splitting into three as it jumps down, and each of these heads, one skittering sort of maw of a centipede, the other a vulture calling out, the other snake hissing at you all. This seems to be Akusael, the noted chimera in the journals of Daravan, the holder of the key of the Mashtu, the womb that you stand in. And this is where we're going to end tonight's session, because I do want guys here for this.
Oh boy. Yeah.
That sounds good to me. I want everybody here.
This is a fight where you definitely want gas for here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
As a DM, I feel that.
But yeah.
This was an excellent session. I've been getting a lot better at paying attention. And you're doing a great job, Corvos. It's not that you change anything, it's that I'm changing how I view being a player.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
I'm loving this game. And I hope you know that I appreciate all the effort you're pouring into it.
Mm-hmm. Put in a lot of effort.
Oh yeah, I guess we're still on stream.
But, well, hey, it's fine that we are. So, yeah, hey guys, with the stream, thank you, Vestamin, for the subscription. Thanks, Chris, as well. We'll be back next week to see where this fight goes. If you guys enjoyed the session, please make sure to follow the stream, and, well, if you like the maps, every single map that you'll see on these streams and the restreams on YouTube is all my creation. Every single one of them, the 140 now in total, is available on my Patreon. All of them made for Kingmaker, but you can use them in any campaign. There's the link right above me. So, Kiba, you stream?
Yes, absolutely. I am Chris Kobold, the player of Kiba, and I am a streamer here on Twitch, focusing on retro games and the occasional indie game. Tend to go on Tuesdays and Wednesdays when I can, around 7 o'clock Eastern Time, PM. Feel free to drop by sometime. I'm currently working on Battletoads for the Nintendo, because pain is good.
So yeah, with that, hope you guys enjoyed the stream.
May I make?
Oh yeah, sure.
May I make an advertisement?
Mm-hmm.
Hi. So I've been trying to grow my follower base. My name is EX. I'm an artist. I'm responsible for all the player portraits at the bottom here, except for Gaz's, where a friend helped me out with that. But you can find my link tree here. If you like my art, you might want to check that out. But yeah.
Sure thing. And with that, yeah, that'll be our session. See you guys next week.